All right, folks, we're back with another Learning Cards. This is really learning to draft cards, and I've already done us the solid of drafting this on mobile last evening. Didn't feel like playing, but we have our deck ready to go. It's US-Finland. It's supposed to be very good. I've played it. I haven't played it particularly well. I have some concerns, but I'm going to quickly go through what we had. I think this was the absolute last pick I had, and I chose it because I was really worried that we don't have much to do at the lower end of our curve. I feel like in a lot of these games, yeah, sometimes we lose in a late game to another deck that just outlasts us. It feels like sometimes the Soviets are able to do that, sometimes Germany in countermeasures. But I feel like more often than not, we're probably outrushed by the Americans, and so I wanted to have some early units. Again, this is really better if it has other stuff down, but it was something. I hate playing against production order, and so I look forward to having it at least one of them on my side. But that's not really an early play. That's something to try to move forward later on. 463rd, it was there because there weren't better picks. I kind of remember some of these and why they ended up in the deck. There just weren't better options, and so that's what we went with. Supply priorities, either ability could work, right? Early on, if we get pressed and we just need, and we can ping a bunch of things out, we'll deal 1 damage. Or later on, if we have a bunch of repair targets, then we'll go ahead and do that. Gunship Mission is another one of those that if we're getting rushed early on and they leave something on the back line, we might be able to knock it out and then get some HQ health until we can get down some friendlies. This is an excellent card if it can survive, right? And so since it has guard, it's not really going to benefit from other guards, but if you're playing a rush deck where I guess they have to do it and they don't have the tools to remove it, and it can survive its initial encounters, it seems very strong. It doesn't seem like necessarily maybe the first card you would want to put down, but I guess if you had nothing else and you're under pressure, you would go ahead and do it. Friendly Fire might buy us some time early on. I think it's really one of those late game plays where they might have a big swing that you're expecting. I mean, when people know they're playing against Finland, and I'm guilty of not remembering this, everybody kind of assumes that there's at least one friendly fire, if not more. And so the way you usually try to get around that is to have one of your lower health things swing first, and then you swing with the bigger things later on, because this will always trigger on the first. So that's that. 142nd is good. Probably the ideal play is on turn 3. If you're getting rushed, you put this down, you attack into something. Hopefully you survive, but then you get the HQ defense on top of it. Unity of Strength seems pretty good because there's a fair amount of infantry, particularly on the low end here. But there's also, I guess, some on the mid end when we look at some of the Finnish guards. But it doesn't seem terrible. Another decent early play, right, with that 4 toughness and the ability to attack up into things with higher attack, and then the salvage ability. As you see, there's actually a fair amount of salvage cards, and so that's a way of generating a version of cards. I don't remember what the alternatives were, but I remember they were not better than this. And so we have a 3 damage artillery piece. It might just die, but that's fine. We have a Blitz Hellcat, which it is what it is, right? If Blitz is powerful, 4 damage, double damage against tanks, none of that's bad. The Grumman Goose, it seemed like it was going to draw us at least a card, if not more. First Marines, if you got 4 credits and you want to either knock something out in the front line and survive it, or you want to move in and take it yourself, First Marines is great for doing that, keeping the... with the 4 toughness there, keeping the door open probably to the enemy HQ if you have tanks and stuff to follow up in subsequent terms. Sturmy, I don't think I need to say anymore. 11th Infantry, I didn't like the alternatives, and there are a fair number of things here that would look good with repair. Among other things, some of those 4 toughness units that we have, but excuse me, early on, later on, I don't think getting a toughness buff is going to be too bad. Frozen assets, not bad. Again, whether you're on the back foot but you have some credits, or you're on the front foot and you're trying to remove a guard or something, not bad at all. Also has the salvage mechanic. 8th Marines, yeah, it seems pretty good as long as they have the toughness to withstand it, so you don't want to do this into a friendly sissy or anything like that. But and I think I had an option to draw a second one of these, and I didn't. But at 4 credits, 2 up cost, it actually seems like it can do a fair amount. So I think I'm a fan. Detached Battalion 4, it's got a lot going on for 4 credits. Not in the power toughness, right? It's only 2-3. But it's got smoke screen and salvage, and on deployment, it destroys target enemy with 2 or less. So again, if we're up against the rush and we're trying to recover, this can knock one out, then hang around, then potentially kill something, and then salvage it to replay it. So that's fine. M4A1, again, it's fine, but what we like about it is that it can't be targeted by enemy orders. Again, as a 4/5, who knows if that would be the priority, but it can't be. And then if it had to be discarded for whatever reason, we could get it back. I just ended up with a lot of 60-second armored. I think I could have ended up with 4 if I wanted it, but it seems decent in this deck because we have the M4A1, we have 2 natural M4 Shermans. So that all seems good to me, and then this will either buff those or generate more, or maybe some will do one and the other will do the other. So that's great because, again, those M4 Shermans, when you got the front line with an American in it, as you'll see next, which we have 2 of, you're going to draw 2 cards. And really that is where our card draws, we don't have a ton of card draw. We have some card generation in the salvage ability, but those always tend to be on the weaker ends unless they have a good deployment effect. And some do. Jaeger Battalion holds the back line. Again, if we're under pressure whenever, and it just adds that sissy, it's good. War Bonds, I don't know. Ramp played against me feels good. Playing it, I mean, this is another way to generate cards and gain some extra credit slots. And with the cards that we have here, we might be a credit hungry deck. And so, yeah, we got 2. We'll see how it goes. This seems pretty decent. It basically turns all your salvaged units, I'll say basically, into sissies. Right? Anything that they hit is going to destroy the other unit. And so 2 of them, yeah, we got the salvage theme going. It was kind of just the way it played out. Firefly, I like the Firefly, particularly if they're gonna. Well, I just like it, right? I mean, we're kind of, I think, well geared maybe towards the mid, maybe the late game. But it gives you some flexibility there with the tank. It hits, it protects others. What's not to like? We have some okay guards. I'm not gonna say more. I mean, you know what it is. This thing, if you have those sissies out, right? Not only do you get one as a 3/3 blitz shock for 5, maybe that's a bit much, but just adding the sissy and then giving them all +3/+3 is pretty incredible. I mentioned that there's a Sherman theme here. This does it, and it looks like we should have enough Shermans to be able to make this work. If not, we get an 8/8 for 6 that operates for 3. This is almost certainly a mistake. It was an early draw, and I will tell you, it came up not long after the Grumman Goose, and I had a choice between one of these when I thought, well, maybe I'm just going to see a bunch of air units, which happened to me recently. And I don't know that I saw another one I wanted to take after that. And this was early. This was like within the first 10 cards. We had the Grumman Goose. So in retrospect, I should have taken the second Grumman Goose. This is pretty much a dead draw most of the time. But, you know, you live and you learn. So now we got to go play the thing. My analysis, and I think US-Finland is supposed to be one of, if not the strongest archetypes. I've had 0 luck with it. I've played it, and I think I'm barely above 500. I think a lot of that might be new player things. But the fact that I've more regularly got 5, 6, 7 wins with Soviets and Germans, particularly some stuff on mobile that just isn't going to go up on the YouTube. Excuse me. So this seems pretty bad. This seems pretty bad. I don't know that I want any of this stuff this early on. Yeah, well, that's the thing about throwing everything back, right? You don't know that you're going to get anything better. Well, that's too bad. Oh, wait. Well, what is this? Just get rid of it now before it becomes a problem? I think that's the answer. I hate doing it that early. I do. But I don't have Suppress in this deck. Between all of the Finnish and American cards, I do not have Suppress. So, go figure. I think we just plop that down. And we'll see what our opponent can do here. But I'm interested in getting into Cheshire. What is it? It's if it wasn't attacked. So we do 2 for 2. I'm not sure what we do after that, but my guess is he has a buff for this. That would be my guess. He'll have 4 credits next turn, so he can get through that. I don't know. See, if he kills it, Cheshire still lives. Let's make him use the buff on the Spitfire, which I'm sure he has. But then we'll be able to bring first Marines up, maybe Strids group in. Maybe we just go for the ramp, because we are behind in cards on hand. And oh, I guess that's not what he's going to do. All right. I think we just kill it, right? We don't want that thing going vet unless we're expecting a countermeasure here. Not sure. But I'd rather get the units out of the way. And I know it does them the solid of leaving it there, or leaving this there, but I'm not too sure what else to do. So if this comes in and deals 3 damage, it puts you down to a 5/3, and then you attack for 3. So we're going to trade. My goodness, man. I thought today would be the day where, I thought playing this early in the morning we would avoid all the sweats, but sometimes you just have all the answers, man. So this is not a good, this is not a great trade, but it's a trade that gets it off the battlefield. My hope is that we can just blitz into that bomber next turn. But yeah, this thing's gonna hurt like. I still think we got to do it. Yep, they're gonna get their cards. Again, I don't know what to do with it, but. Sometimes you got all the answers, man. It seems like that happens a lot here. I don't think we want to go for the card draw. I don't think we do. So we're at least not on the same level of pressure we were on. If we're them, they probably attack through and kill that like that. If we do this, we're going to be under pressure again after that. So keep in mind, I don't like what I just did. I think all of these are bad trades. For me, I think they're going to attack into that, probably keep that back, move that up. That's more of what I'm expecting, and that thing with Fury is gonna be rough. But yeah, I was kind of hoping playing it this time of day we would avoid the sweaty draft wins, but I don't think we're going to. So here we pretty much have to trade into it, because if we don't, this isn't going to give us guard. Though this does something. So I think we just got to do the thing it does. There's going to be too much scatter, I think, for that. So, dude. That is such a good card. Such a good card. Huh. Huh. Ugh. Do we just finish? Do we just finish? Oh, I can't reveal it. Oh no, I can reveal it whenever. Or what else do we do? Get this thing out of our hand? It's so bad, but maybe we just do it to chalk up the front line. No, I want this out because we're probably going to need something else in the middle. Yeah, it's all right. We do need to play Shermans to get this thing off. Okay. Give a friendly unit +1/+1 for each friendly unit on the battlefield. Do we just do it onto this? I don't think there's anything we can do about this guard, right? It's just going to be terrible. But that thing with Fury is going to be the death of us. Yeah, we cannot catch a break here in these drafts on stream. On mobile, this stuff is easy. But I don't know. What does this do? Deal 1 damage to a random enemy unit in the same front. Yeah, so we got... Okay, so we know that that's going to trade with that. When this does its thing... And yeah, there's nothing else I can do there. We did not even get to the... We were under so much pressure from Brit France that we could not even play our ramp cards. And we don't have a blitz tank here. That doesn't help us. Nothing here helps us. We're just dead. Well, like I said, I cannot get US-Finland to work. So, good for everybody else who can, but it feels like a solid draft in terms of the cards we were offered and the ones that we picked, but I don't know where in the world Brit France in draft is that powerful, but you saw what I did. We'll keep it. We did have a pretty bad starting hand last game. We'll see what they play out here. We may not rush this even. Well, we'll see what kind of pressure we're under. So if that's the case, I guess we'll do this and see. We'll see if they have removal for it. They could, right? If they have that. Well, it has both the off power and toughness, but if they also have amphibious assault, I think that would probably take us out. So at 3 credits, we don't have too much to do. We want to hold that back. I think we just move this down anyways, because otherwise we got to float 3 credits for no reason and then move it up. And I'd prefer to hold the repair until we need it. Deal 1 damage to adjacent units. That's fine. Alright, so what do we want to do? Destroy target unit with cost 2 or less. That's not 2 or less. So we'll hold that back. Adjacent ground. I think we put this down, right? I think that's what we're going to do. And now at least the thing that destroys units that have less attack than defense would be out of the way. Alright, so we can get rid of that. I could move this up and trade in. I mean, with 1 credit... Let's just hold on to it. This we could actually move up, because this isn't doing anything on the back line anymore. I think we just... Alright. Well, I guess we don't have to do that. What is it? So this has salvage. But I don't really see the need to... What? HQs cannot gain... Oh, it has ambush. Gotcha. So what would I rather lose here? I think this, right? No. I'm going to lose the smaller thing. And then we'll do that. And then we'll move... Oh, yeah. We'll play that and then move that up. And I think we're at the point where we can almost play this up. Because if they're going to play out units to kill it, it's going to get stronger. But if they were holding orders, at least this will do something. 4/7 guard, I mean, it's a fine... Right, so it's a 5/8, so it could probably cut through this eventually here. We could also repair that. What else? What else? Hmm. He's got to know about this, right? Oh, that's not a bad card next turn. But I think we're just going to try to avoid all that since they invested a bunch of credits in it. I would prefer to just ignore it, or a bunch of cards in it. And if they want to trade out next turn, they can. Excuse me. Yeah. So I think, hold on, let me just do the math here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'd be 2 credits off doing both of those things. I'm kind of okay with being off of both those things. So we have to move this up first. It's already done its thing. Right, so we did that, and now we'll do that. And now we'll see. Yeah, I guess this is probably the only suppressed card we have in any of our US-Finland. I guess we'll just find out. All right. It's impressive how quickly we find draft opponents in this game. I guess a lot of people do play this game. It's remarkable. Probably too expensive. Excuse me. If we get rushed, I still want to have that. Yeah. Now, if it's a bunch of those little 1-1-0 op cost things. Otherwise, we have okay turn 2 and 3 plays. So now, I think we hold this in hand for a while. Well, actually, if we play this out on turn 3, we can then play the M4 on turn 4 and get those cards back. Just so I would still do that just to have the potential to play the M4 now. If not, next turn we could probably do first Marines and then do this on turn 5. I don't know, maybe you play the Pack Howitzer out and try to draw them up and then blitz into them. I'm thinking maybe that was the way to do that. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll play the Pack Howitzer and pass and see if we can get him to commit to something in the front line, or at least expend removal on. I mean, it's a fine card, but yeah, I mean, well, depending on what they play, detached might remove something. But 3 damage for 1 credit doesn't seem terrible. But again, almost anything that kills it's going to kill it. Is this a countermeasure? Am I the only one who thinks that this kind of feels like one? So then the question is, what do we... I'm not going to think about it. Because if it is, it is. And I'm just going to kind of sit here. It's just a question of whether we put this in the front line to play the Sherman next turn. I think we do. Just in case there's some sort of blitz tank they're going to try to throw down. We put this in as a speed bump. And hope for the best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nicely done. Okay. So if we do this, he knows it's friendly fire, right? Is that too cute? 1, 2, and then throw this up. And there's just not a lot else to do here. So it's either the Sherman for everything, or we... This feels like the more conservative play. Ugh. Okay. Well, yeah. Huh? We don't have any good repair targets, so that would cost... What is it? Alright, so it would cost me more to attack that unit, but I don't intend to do that. I think we just deal the damage there. Maybe playing Sturmy was the right call. We'll see. Yeah, Sturmy probably was the right call. Yeah, absolutely would have been, because it would have given me 2 tanks. And, you know, them sitting at 6 health isn't... Yeah, well, you got me there. Now you probably got to move up, right? Oh, you only have 1 up cost. Oh, excuse me. Well, he has Germany, so it's possible he has Stranglehold. Excuse me here. Still got this cough out of nowhere. It could be a thing. We'll see. All right, it's not a thing, so. All right. All right. Soviets tend to have lasting power, though I have faced a Soviet rush before, and it's not fun. This feels a little too early. Excuse me. If we don't have anything else to work with this, well, we could always play it on the other side of the HQ, I guess. It seems slow, though. Just a bit slow. But I guess that's true of most of my deck. I don't know. Wasn't really it. Alright, so maybe... Do we supply priority now, or do I wait for them to move it up? Well, they could always heal it. If we wait, we can't play this next turn. So, to try to keep the pressure off, because I think our biggest problem is when we get pressured early on and we don't have an answer. We're just going to do that now. Not at all the best way that could work, but oh well. Now we got a choice between Sturmy. Oh. Let me think about the math here. So, if we play this out now, do we want to get this? It feels bad stranding those credits. This feels like a lot more pressure on their credits. You know what? We're gonna put this down and just see what we get. If it gets removaled, then there's a good chance that it probably would have removed this unless it's sickle. Oh, or it's that. Okay. But now the guard's not as good if he can deal 2 damage to it. So now we're okay. That works. And I guess what we do is... Oh, wait. We gotta sequence this correctly. Or try to, at least. Alright, so that's how we'll do that. And then we'll see if this gets removaled. It doesn't. Now, they may well have suppress. So we can't get as greedy as I'd like to get. Wait, what? I don't know what happened there. So we can put Sturmy down this turn and then do nothing else and strand 2 credits. We put this down and lose some of the advantage of that. I think we put Sturmy down because it puts... Right? I think we're okay sending this to 2 health for more attack and then just sending it forward on the attack. Although, you know, we could actually do that with... we would need a lot of credits to play those both on the same turn. Huh. Again, if you want maximum value, I think this is the way you do this. and then don't move it forward. With 7 credits, we can plop this down for 4, and then we can move 1 Sturmy up. Probably hold the other one back. Or do we just play Cyclone Division and make them come to us? This one still has shock. And they did the right play by moving it up to make me waste the shock. Alright, so they're going to put the guards down. Fancy. So I think, yeah, I think this is the real concern here. But we can hold the Blitz tank back for that. I feel like throwing this up as the roadblock is the way to go. Although if we do that, we're a credit short of being able to plop down 8th Marines. That feels bad. So, I think we do it anyways, but I think we put the Hellcat down. I know why it feels bad, because they're probably going to attack that into that, right? Let that live, and then kill the Hellcat. Fine, but they have 10 credits. Like, they're going to be able to hit the Sturmies anyways. Right? They want to use those things before they lose them. Wow, they went for the Sturmy. I stand corrected. But, well, that's not bad. Unfortunately, we only have 8 credits. That is the unfortunate part of this. I think we play this out. We need cards because we are running low here. I'm worried about. I think that this is a big thing that gets bigger over time. Oh no, that's the one. If it's covert for 3 turns, I think they get a T-42 or something like that. So yeah, we're just gonna eat, and this is gonna be rough. We're just gonna eat a lot of damage here. That card is great if it doesn't get answered, and it doesn't look like we're gonna have an answer to it. Ugh. It's got guard and salvage. Your salvage, I think that this thing is just going to get wiped, though. Is it at the end of their turn? At the start of their turn. So we put that down, and we put that down. And we just hope for the best now. There's nothing else to do. Yeah, so that kills that, and then he can attack through it if he wants to do that. Or else he just sits there. We will see. Bruh. Sometimes, folks, you just have all the cards. I don't know what else to say. I think this person deserves a snooze emoji thing there. All right, what do we want to... So we could deal 5 damage to that, or we just kill that and attack into that. So, let me think about the math here. So if I play this out and make it a 5, we kill that. And then he can kill that. So that's 5, that's 7 credits. Okay, we want to do that. All right. And then if I play this down, this becomes a 10-7. Is that what we want to do? I don't know. I don't know if that's what we wanted to do. We'll see how many blitz tanks we're going to get hit with on this turn. Otherwise, this is not a terrible card to have next turn. Because this is considered a Sherman. Although it's the only Sherman. Well, they had at least one, right? So that, of course, is going to hurt. They're going for the kill, man. So this thing would become a what? A 9/5. This has blitz and shock, so that doesn't help us. So I think we have to do the unfortunate here, which is move that like that. We have to move this up. I don't know. If they have a blitz fighter bomber, we're dead. There's no nice version of. There's no nicer version of that story. But we have 14. We have 18 looking at him next turn. Ugh. Five damage to an enemy tank. We don't want them taking out our tank. Right? Anything here that's going to give us... That would be very nice next turn. In case there's a blitz fighter... I don't know, man. I can't imagine why there would be. Excuse me. Well. Yeah. Blitz bomber, I guess. Does the US have them? I'm too new at the game to remember. Yeah, we seem to always get a rival. Like, in draft, we seem to get them faster than we get them on ladder. Which is funny, because it doesn't... excuse me. It doesn't seem like there's that much... I mean, this is an okay start, right? Yeah, especially against the potential American rush. I have reservations about plopping this down, but... Like, if you're... I don't know what... Like, if they're going to have removal, aren't they more likely to get it over the course of the game? If you plop this down, and then you play the pack howitzer, I think they're definitely going to want to come forward. Well, it's a very good card. I think we do it, and we let our opponent teach us why not to do it. But it's a card that if it doesn't get removed, it can run away. And I don't know what the advantage of playing it later on is, unless you just hope that they've expended all of their limited removal. Excuse me again. Man. Let's see. Next turn. If next turn is the pack howitzer, well, I think it will be. We know that they have the bomber, and so we got to try to remember that when they get to close to 7 credits, we're going to want to spread some of our stuff out. But maybe they just figure it's not bad to play stuff out and buff this if they're just going to suppress it later. That's fine. But our turn 4 doesn't look like we have great options, so we might just attack with... Yeah, so I think that's the route they're going with, and they're just... Yeah. So if we do this, we get even larger. Oh, you know what? We could do that on that. Okay. So yeah, we could do that on that. Right? You get buffed. You could do your thing. And then we move this up. I'm okay with leaving the pack howitzer. If they have removal, then they would probably use it. But at 5 credits, well, I mean, if you have a firebomb, like you have a firebomb, you're gonna use it. So that's okay. And I'm okay with that too. So we got a choice here as to whether we want the guard or the blitz infantry. I think we're gonna play the guard, because I'd prefer to be able to blitz this forward. We also have quite a bit of, well, we're going to have quite a bit of infantry somewhat soon here. Next turn they can suppress. So if we play this guy forward, they have a choice between suppressing him and denying me the outrage, or suppressing the... Yeah. Yeah, that's cute. So, if we plop this down and move them forward, right? Then they can they're going to suppress the frontline stuff, I would imagine. Oh wait, that'll just die. Right. Calm down there, buddy. Or we blitz forward, and then if that does 5, yeah. None of this is great. So I think we do that, and then we're going to do that. It's just a question of, do we move this up? I think the answer is yes. I'm if they suppress it with the 7 credit, then they don't have anything else to spend credits on. I'm pretty sure that they can attack and kill this, because I think I'm only going to do 3 damage to them because of its ability. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Huh. So, move this up. We're only going to deal 4 damage back. They could trade. That leaves me with 5. Play that, we have nothing. Do we do friendly fire, or do we just do... I will, but I'm not going to say that I love it. He's got to know something's up. I think he's got to know we're on Finland. This person clearly knows what they're doing. I mean, anybody who's going to play this combo is going to know what they're doing and know to hold that back. Is played this game enough. Yeah, so like I said, they knew what they were doing. Trying to save enough credits to blitz this forward and then do frozen assets, but that's just a ton of credits, man. That's like 10 credits that we don't have. And we don't have good backline options. Unlike our friend here. as is always the case in this game, I'm just a little off. I'm always one credit off of everything. Right? Because the idea there would have been to play the 11th Infantry and repair it, but we'll see. We'll see. We have not gotten any card draw. I don't think we've gotten any card draw. I haven't seen any of the M4s. This has probably been the lower end of our deck. There's really not too much, I think, for them to think about. I mean, if this survived... Well, sometimes you just have all the cards, right? And so, there you go. And of course it has heavy armor, so I can't get... So even the sissy can't get through it, right? It's... Yeah, sometimes you just have all the cards, man. Well, we can still repair it. Right? It's still a thing. Yeah. The problem with moving this up is that we can't play frozen assets and get anything. We can buff it to be larger, but it's still going to get killed. I think we have to go for this. We just have to have something survive and try to move into the front line, but we got very little on our air units, and we have gotten kind of the doldrums, I think, of our deck at this point. And I think we've been outdrafted and outplayed in this draft. So I think this is probably going to be another bad showing for US-Finland on my part, and I'm not even sorry. I don't know what to tell you. It's a lot of the same cards I see played against me. I'm playing them, and it's I guess we were just drawing the higher tier opponents in draft here. Must have some sort of, I don't know, something. This is interesting. All right. Do that. Now, if we do that, we can't repair all of our stuff. Part of me says, who cares, right? Because we need cards at this point. And that ain't it. Well, actually, what we need is we need removal for their air assets. But we don't have that. And with a 7-power bomber, and I don't think any way to suppress, kind of think we're just dead. This thing's going to be dead. The other stuff's dead. We're just dead, right? Those things are going to die. He's going to bomber the Sherman, shoot the HQ, and anything we play down after that, again, we have to be able to draw better parts of our deck. So. Now I understand why people sometimes play cards without commenting on it. Good. Another mirror. Just what I wanted in cards. It's the best part of the game. All right. We'll keep it because why not? Yo. Alrighty. And then we'll just play this out if they have removal for it and try to ignore it. I guess in my defense, considering there's only one of these in the deck, it has come out quite a bit. For 3 credits now, what do we do? I think we just do this one, just in case. Holy moly. Huh? Oh, I see. Maybe. Oh, okay. I get what they're going for here. Yeah. So yeah, we're still gonna attack into it. We're not going to do that. But by the same token, we're gonna plop this down. Move that forward, and now we have to make a choice about whether we want to do Unity. I feel like it's too much on one card. Though, doesn't this become a what would this be, a 4/4 at that point that they'd have to attack into? So I would do it. I mean it's odd because it's a card that's not meant to stick around, but that's a lot. That would be the full turn just to put 3 damage on yourself and then do this. If they have the repair ability, and there's a fair chance that they do, it'll be rough. But if it sticks, then we're going to play the Sherman and draw cards. And then after that, we'll think about the Goose and maybe some other stuff. Harder to... So they did go for it. All right. Guard and salvage here. Or do we try to put that down to 1 health? Obviously, that's not something you want salvaged, right? Never. Okay, I got another idea. We'll put it down to 1. I'm not that concerned about the Goose living or dying. Excuse me. And salvage only works... Yeah. On your turn, right. So, I like the howitzer here, right? That should certainly force them to come forward. Do we just want to do this now and get the card in hand? And just move on? I think so. All of that for that. All right. Well, take your pick, dude. You pretty much, unless you really want to kill one of those, you got to kill that thing, right? Or if you got removal, I guess you could doubly kill. I don't know, man. Chasing Shadows. How is that a zero credit card? I mean, people should be able to see the way around that is... You get a lot more than 4... Okay. So, why wouldn't we just trade into that and then shoot that with the howitzer? I don't understand. Heck, I could do that, shoot that with the howitzer, trade the Goose, and then still trade into it. Right? Yeah. I mean, this thing's already done its thing. And at this point, I think we just move this forward. You can draw the card. Every, I shouldn't say every US deck I play, because I don't think it's happened in this draft, right? But it does seem like most of the time that is just a card that my opponents have. We're in a bit of a pickle here because we don't have anything to trigger the Sherman. This is interesting that it's a US card, but it's treated as Finnish because of what caused it to be salvaged. Yeah, this doesn't do too much great because, again, our main problem is that we just don't have things to trigger. Okay. Sturmy's fun. Alright. So we could plop that down and Sturmy. It is a good card, as I know. All too well. It's a good card. So what, in terms of credits, that's 1 credit. That would be 4. Does it give it Blitz, though? I'm trying to think. Oh. Okay. So if I just plop that down... Oh, wait, that hasn't been salvaged. Never mind. So we do this. Are we expecting... Not sure what kind of shenanigans these are. Oh, okay. All right. We got to 4 wins. We're 1 win short of what I consider the goal, right? It used to be 3 wins, kind of no joke. And sometimes, holy moly, that cough snuck up on me. Yeah, 3 wins, and sometimes I draft decks that actually do feel like 3-win decks. But if you look at 5, you've played the draft. It only costs you 60 gold. You're going to get a pack and a bonus, so you might as well be a little happy. Ah, good, because we didn't have enough of those. This actually seems like a bad combination, right? But we're gonna keep it and see what our opponent plays here. Okay, so there's not. You know what? If they have removal for this, go ahead and use it. Yeah, it's just fine with me. That hurt. All right. I guess that's a ramp card. I actually got one of those in a pack, and I was like, why would anybody do it? It must be for ramp. Something I think of. We got to think about our turn. This is probably a turn 5. And I don't know what the way to do this is. Do we play this first to get another Sherman in hand? I'm not sure. Do we want to play this out now? I think so, in case he moves up. Or maybe we just do this for the card draw. I'm really not sure, man. If you can't tell. I mean, this would attack as a 3/4 into that. I could put its toughness down to 4. Oh, you know what? Because of that, it would actually trade into it. But then we just get a 1/1 with smokescreen back. Feels bad, right? Feels bad. This seems like an okay play if we're expecting to get attacked. But I think if my friend is ramping, I don't think he cares too much. Huh. Okay, so I don't... not expecting anything like that. That doesn't do us any... Destroy target unit with cost 2 or less. None of those are 2 or less. I think we just play this down. I'm 1 credit short of moving this up and turning on friendly fire. Not... Yeah. My guess is they're probably going to do the same thing we're thinking of doing. Move up, play... Yeah, they're going to move up, play the M4, draw their cards. I don't know what to tell you. Looks like they got removal for this. Oh. Suppression. That's okay. So, do we hang back, like, and just turn friendly fire on? So how... They would probably want to attack this, so I think the friendly fire wouldn't do all that much. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. Oh, but you know what? We could remove it by attacking into this, right? It would force them to attack into that. Or to... Oh, I guess he can move up with the tank. Yeah, he'd probably do it that way, right? Move up with the tank, attack just in case I have friendly fire. Yep. That's what I would have done too. And now you got to attack into the guard. Or sit there and do nothing, I guess. Yeah. Oh, that's right. The guard got suppressed. I forgot about that. All right, let me think about this here. So that does 3 and that does 4. That's just a bad 2 for 1, but sometimes you got to do those. And then with 6 credits left, do we... I think we want the... This is bad that we're just playing... Oh, because this isn't a US tank. Let me think... Deal 1 damage to a random enemy. I just want to move up there. I have a feeling that's not going to be great. Yeah, that feels bad. Well, I guess we'll find out what the covert is. What? I mean, playing that out seemed like a bit of a desperation play. But I'm not... They must have just known about all the M4... Well, they do know about all the M4s and just figured... That seemed like... Unless they had absolutely nothing in their hand... It seemed like a bit of a premature capitulation, but they know more about their cards. And they know about several of mine than I do. But yeah, this deck, once it's able to go, it can certainly generate a lot of Shermans. I don't know about this card. Maybe. Maybe. It must have something to do here. Otherwise, why think about it, right? I mean, if they give me anything that's worth 2, this always seems like a good one to throw down. Probably better if you could cover it with friendly fire. I guess we'll see. That is a good gunship mission target. Then do we do Jaeger or this on turn 4? I guess we see what they play. All right, so that is a very good target for detached. This might bring them up to find out what it is. We'll see. Whoa, what is that thing? Okay. So they really want to find out what that thing is. It's fine. But nobody... Oh, I should have done that. Well, now I really should do that. Oh, feels bad. It does. So I could still turn this up and then play this out like I intend to attack into that. And then just hope. I guess we could have also just thrown down a guard. I'm trying to think of how do they do this in a way that's... That is so terrible, man. Why can't it hit that? Like, why? Why? Well... Alright. Oh, and that has ambush. I think we might... Oh, wait. It's a fighter, right? So... Yeah, we'll die. Okay. And we'll do that. And that doesn't do anything, right? So he's going to attack into that, trade there. Ambush is rough, man. I think we just have to make an awful trade here. Just wait, does this also have maybe I missed math. For some reason I thought that had 2 health left, but I guess that's why you read cards, right? But yeah, he's just going to kill that, and then he's going to keep attacking with the fighter, and I don't... Oh, I do have another guard. Well, I make mistakes, you know? But yeah, he's definitely going to... He's got to attack that, and... Huh? I guess we just got to keep playing down guards as long as we can. We don't have any good targets there. Oh, well, we don't want a 1-1 version of that. That I don't hate, but I don't like. I think we gotta play the guard down. Pretty sure. Well, buddy... Give me a moment here. We don't want to take 5 damage. We're sure of that. I don't really care for this, but it gets me something. Right? That something is not a lot. But that thing is good, right? It has ambush, but... And it's being guarded, but... Yeah, I hate that card. It's a good card. So, what needs to move forward? I think everything here needs to move forward as much as I can move it forward. we move that up. We move that up. We got to attack through this first. And play that out. And then we got a gunship mission something. That kills that faster. But that thing has heavy armor, so any damage we can get on that is going to be what we want. That's a cute combo. Man, that is a lot of non-American units that are up there. Yeah, we had to leave our guard back because, well, I figured we did. It certainly put this down. Now, we could play... Move that up there. We could put a Sherman down. It doesn't get us any cards, but next turn we might be able to buff it and hopefully kill enough of their stuff. We'll see. I'll be honest, I hate these kind of like exhaustion decks where it's just like guard and then just all these drain effects. It's like, play to the board, man. Just play to the board. Why is it so hard? Huh. What kind of trickeration is this? This was salvaged, right? We are 1 credit off again. Right? Because the only, well, if we don't put a guard down, well, it's just gonna bleed us out anyways. So we'll do that. We'll do this. Like, what else are we gonna do here? I don't see much else to do. I mean, slap a guard down and what? Man, this thing's ban cannot come soon. Its trip to reserves cannot come soon enough. Holy moly. Yeah. Well, hold on now. We got to kill that because we're dead next turn to it anyways. We got to kill that too. We have to kill all this stuff. I don't think we're going to have the credits to do it. Right? If we do that, then we can't attack with the Sherman. Right, so we're going to do that. Can move that there, and then we can at least repair it. But it does. I don't think that's going to be enough. Well, we got 5 wins, right? Can only be so unhappy with 5 wins. Sometimes, friends, you have all the cards. There's nothing to think about. Run the tank into it, and you'll win next turn. Yo, you'll win this turn. 1, 2. Like, what are you waiting for? To say I'm confused is an understatement. Excuse me. Well, they don't have blitz. That is true. We could certainly do this if only it gets rid of that as an option. Yeah, we don't really want that. This, I think, will blitz to the front line, right? Or do we blitz to the front? I think we want to keep the front line. He just needs another fighter, bomber, guard thing. Anything would work at this point, really. There you go. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. How sweet it is. All right. So we don't have anything, right, that's going to... How are they going to do this? That's going to kill that, and that's just going to roll in and kill that, I guess. We do have the front line. I mean, I don't know what I'm expecting to hit here. This could actually suppress this, which just gets rid of its heavy armor. Huh. I like it. And then we got a choice of this thing or some other thing. We're going to do that, and then we're going to do production order. And we'll see what we get. But yeah, as long as they... Oh, well, okay. Then they're going to kill this, kill that, move up, and then destroy the HQ. So it was a nice try. It was a nice try. Wait. What? Wait. If you had just killed... Oh, that's right. We have more than that. That's right. So this is a blitzer, but it doesn't do quite enough. We play that out for 7. We can get rid of its heavy armor. Does this matter anymore? Does this thing matter? Feels like it doesn't. Do we have any way to kill it? Ugh. That is so frustrating. I don't think there's anything we can do here, right? We attack that like that, right? We can kill it. Yeah. I guess we can kill this and then blitz to the front line. Do we want to play out Sturmy? I think we're going to play the tank out. I mean, I would love cards and credits and stuff, but I think if we were going to win, we would have had to exhaust their hand at this point, and that's not happening. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't blitz forward. I'm concerned about the tank's ability to move through 2 layers here. Not worried about its ability to kill stuff. That's not my biggest concern. think we're just about run out of resources here. Especially if this is a fighter, bomber, anything, air, artillery, blitzer. I mean, pick your thing. I think we're in trouble there. Yike. Dude. How many blitz tanks do you need? Well, that was one it felt like we almost turned the corner with. And, yeah, I guess this is some evidence, though I don't think it's the best evidence for why maybe ramp isn't bad. You just don't even get to the point where you're able to ramp. And, yeah, of course, that doesn't feel great. But I think the parts were there. Sure enough, the early game probably hurt us. I feel like we had enough to get in the late game, but we just didn't get to the very late game, which, you know, if we get to the very late game, then I think we have a better chance. Then we can use the ramp and the card draw and all the other stuff. But we'll see. You know, it was a 5-win draft for me in US-Finland, which I think most people probably get 7 wins with. But it's still something I need to work on. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it.